And a career-high 17 saves. Two face-off specialists that were over 50% last year, sitting right around 45% this year. Tyler Sandoval for the Princeton Tigers. Nicholas Ramsey for the Yale Bulldogs. Dave, both of these teams in desperate need of a victory today. Ivy League game number 2. We expect a physical game when Princeton and Yale meet as the Bulldogs control the opening face-off.
And 2 hard hits right off the opening face-off, and Yale hopped out to a quick lead against Cornell, which obviously, for the second straight week, Yale gets the first goal on the board.
2 notable absences for the Princeton Tigers on defense. Pace Billings, who suffered a hamstring injury in the Tigers' last home game a couple weeks ago against Georgetown. He was a preseason All-American. Alex Slusher, a starter on attack. He's also out with an injury. Speaking of injuries, Tyler Sandoval down on the field after that face-off. Sandoval, the 5'9" junior out of Garden City, New York. Chaminade High School. Big reason Princeton got as far as they did last year to the NCAA semifinal. They made it to championship weekend. Sandoval last year just a shade under 54%. Talking about injuries, mentioned Pace Billings. He's out of the lineup for the 3rd straight game. Alex Slusher, who last year had the 5th most goals in Princeton history, 46 of them. He's out today.
Sandoval's done a nice job of solidifying a position that, quite frankly, Princeton struggled with for the better part of a decade, as he is able to get up with the help of the training staff.
One 0 Bulldogs. It'll be Yale possession as Sandoval is helped off to the sideline.
Really, while that will obviously affect the folks running on the field, it could affect the goalies reading the bounces.
Koby Ginder comes in to take the draw for the injured Tyler Sandoval and wins it. Princeton this year, 7 man-up goals. Coulter
in 7 area and is able to get it past Paquette.
2 face-offs taken, 2 wins by the sophomore from New York City, Koby Ginder. They have Sandoval, he's the senior. They've got the sophomore Ginder. They've also got the big 6'1", 210-pound freshman Andrew Mcmeekin.
Mackesy putting the team on his back in a must-win game.
And that defender, Jack Stuzen, who, leads the Ivy League in caused turnovers. 3 straight face-off wins by Princeton, with Koby Ginder leading the charge. Tigers, who have scored the game's last 3 goals, tuck it back in. Here's Stevens in an unsettled situation, and there's save number 4-0 Tigers run has been number 99 at the X. That's Koby Ginder, the sophomore. He remains perfect on the day, but then has it back-checked away. And it'll be Yale with possession. The Bulldogs haven't scored since that goal, 1 minute and 7 seconds. Coulter Mackesy 4, the Yale Bulldogs 1 with 15 minutes gone by. Big face-off, Ramsey wins one for the Bulldogs against Koby Ginder. Bulldogs haven't scored in. Tigers out shooting Yale 22-10. It was 1-0 Yale, and now we get a whistle. Possession awarded to Princeton. For Chris Bates back in 2016. Tigers playing with some fire here today. A 6-0 run for Princeton. Face-off win for the Bulldogs, who desperately need a goal here. 6-0 Princeton. 10 goals as a freshman.
Yeah, and he could probably play safety for the Princeton football team, talking about athletic.
Second whistle on the face-off against the Bulldogs here in the... Lucas Stannett's 2nd goal in his career. This is just the 4th game he's played. He's a junior from up by Rochester out of Brighton High School. 3rd straight face-off win for the Bulldogs.
It's on the sideline.
Big face-off here. It's been Ramsey taking every one for the Bulldogs, and he's got a nice little streak going. Ramsey wins it cleanly, gets it into Molly. Brady McDermott, 1st goal of the season for the senior out of Brighton High School up in Rochester. High school teammates with Lucas Stannett, who got his first start today for the Tigers. Fourth straight face-off win for the Bulldogs. They were up 1-0, then the Princeton Tigers scored 8 straight, now back-to-back goals.
Big momentum swing by the Yale Bulldogs. And again, Yale with another unforced turnover that made that happen for Princeton when they had an opportunity to string it.
First half, and Gianfrancaro the second half. Rackauer got his first career start last week as the Bulldogs get called for the third face-off violation, so it'll be a man up in possession for Princeton. Gianfrancaro came in 2 weeks ago, second half, an overtime loss up at Piscataway against Rutgers. Played really well in the second half, stopped 9 of 14 shots. Vardaro was the story in Princeton's 2-0 start. He scored on 9 of his first 10 shots those first 2 games. First Tiger with 9 goals through the first 2 games in nearly 30 years. Mcmeekin, the freshman, wins the face-off. Late whistle for a hold, and that'll give it right back to Yale. So anyway, eventually I'll finish my story. This game's been kind of mad. It's still March. I think we had the alley-oop a couple possessions ago across the crease from Vardaro.
This is why I need you, Cody. You can string that together.
So you check my math when I say he has 6 assists.
And listen, the Penn game was a tremendous one. Sam Handley wins it in overtime. The week before, Princeton loses another one up the road in Piscataway against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, one of the better teams in the country. And we've talked about it. It's their strength of schedule.
DJ Kirst, both of them from the Garden State Lions out of Shawnee High School. Kirst out of Del Barton. Another face-off win by the Bulldogs. Great job the last 20 minutes or so of that by Nicholas Ramsey, who came in at 45%. He was second-team All-Ivy a year ago. 21 career goals, 40 career goals, 21 have come man-up. He's got 21 career man-up goals in 31 games.
Yeah. Which means when he has time and space, it's going in the back of the net. On that camera angle, just kind of the misty rain we have fallen here in Princeton.
Another violation against the Bulldogs, second highest ranked Ivy League team sitting at number 5. You've got Yale at 12, Penn at 15, Princeton at 20. So we've been kind of alluding to it. Okay, a down year maybe for Ivy League lacrosse. You've still got a fifth of the top 20.
Yeah, it's just not going to be a 6-bid league, but wow.
Koby Ginder, he's taken the bulk of the face-offs after the early injury to Tyler Sandoval. And he's got his first career goal.
That's one way to keep things rolling. Right down the middle of the field. Ginder all the way home and right back to the face-off X. It looks like he's ready to do it again. Couldn't get back there fast enough.
First career goal on his first career shot. Koby Ginder, one of 7 players on the Princeton roster out of the Brunswick school. Pretty safe bet. Where do you go to high school? If you say either Brunswick or Culver, you've got about a 20% chance of getting that right if you're talking about Princeton. Violation against Ginder. Back to the Bulldogs as the Tigers lead by...
It's there, and again, it's the textbook D. The communication has been on point. They are sliding with a purpose.
Christian Ronda, or I should say Coulter Mackesy, scored the first 6 for the Princeton Tigers. Since then, the next 10 goals have been...
Virginia, that propels Notre Dame to the top spot, so we'll see. But looking at the rankings and where things could finish, if Yale loses this one, as it looks like they will, Princeton wins. Penn's around 15 right now. You know, are a bunch of these teams going to end up in that 12 to 16 range?
Can we call the number 1 ranked team in the country Yale West? Brian Tevlin,
Yeah.
Chris Fake, a couple of All-Americans, All-Ivy League selections transferred to Notre Dame. Stevens on the run, had the stick lifted and a flag.
Excellent programs. 2 teams that fought it out in the quarterfinals. A Princeton team who's just been dominated, let's say, for most of the last decade in the regular season by the Bulldogs, and Coulter Mackesy and the rest of the offense making it look automatic and, quite frankly, easy today.
Freshman Andrew Mcmeekin on, wins the face-off, works it back through the goalie, and the Tigers clear.
It was the Jesse Hubbards, the Mikey Powells, who recently got honored up at Syracuse, and then you get a little more recently the Rob Pinnells, the Lyle Thompsons, the Michael Sowers, the Tom Schreibers. It is amazing just the level of talent and how certain players can just separate themselves and just make the game look easy. A very, very impressive physical goal by Krevsky.
Face-off win by the Bulldogs, shot by Brandhouse, saved by Gianfrancaro. That's his first save of the second half. Rebound keeps it with Yale. 35 seconds to go, shot deflect.
For number 21, but Mackesy, he had a time and room shot, and he's obviously a great shooter. So for Princeton, that's exactly what you want to see out of your man-up unit, is multiple chances with high percentage opportunities.
Won't go down as a man-up tally as it had just expired, but it came on the tail end of that.
I'll count it in that type of reference in terms of X's and O's. What you want to see out of your man-up unit is multiple chances with high percentage opportunities.
Won't go down as a man-up tally as it had just expired, but it came on the tail end of that.
I'll count it in that type of reference in terms of X's and O's. That misty rain, and I'll just use your word again, just annoying.
Ninth different goal scorer for the Tigers. Some different personnel. Joe Jungerkiss at the top wing. Cooper Kissler, the freshman, on the near side.
With just under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, looking like they're going to go to 0-2 in the Ivy League.
Face-off win. Here comes Fairback. Paquette with the save. Ball on the doorstep. And Paquette will tell the end of the day for Gianfrancaro, who made 14 saves after he made 17, a career high last week. Griffin Rackauer, who started the first 5, and if he had enough minutes to qualify, would be third in the nation in save percentage, checks in to play the final
team.
65 shots for the Tigers.
Again, 39 last week in the overtime loss at Penn.
Huge hit out in front of the crease. No flags fly.
They continue to pile it on here. And just over 2 minutes to go. You think they might just start winding this clock out unless they're in another transition opportunity.
Princeton takes advantage of the 21st Bulldog turnover today. Nicholas Ramsey out there wins the face-off. He's taken all but one today.
Category came in averaging 4.2 goals per game, and he gets his fourth of the day.
Ginder out there for the face-off. Some different personnel on the wings for the Tigers. Number 25, Michael Kelly. Number 8, McKnight Pedersen, who's had an interesting couple of months. McKnight Pedersen, the younger brother of Bo Pedersen, who's had a great game for the Tigers. Lyons has 4. Bragg has 3 goals on 7 shots. That's the first even strength goal for number 45. McMeekin, the freshman, didn't win it cleanly.
And
then some contact.
And you don't want to see things get chippy one way or the other, especially in kind of a lopsided game like this. But
Teddy Gutman going after the ground ball. Took some illegal contact before he got there. A lot to celebrate on the Princeton sideline. They have a 13-goal lead with 62 seconds to go in what was essentially a must-win game.
Yep, they came in with the sense of urgency.
So 1 minute non-releasable.